Alright, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to American Truck Simulator. As you see, we have the wheel of names in front of us. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to announce the winner of your choice of 3 trailers. Depending on which one you picked is which one you will win if your name is picked here in the wheel of names. Thank you all for participating, for entering into it. It means a lot. We have 45 people entered into this contest, so good luck to all of you, and let's go ahead and spin and see who wins. And the winner is Nathan Walker. Nathan, congratulations. What was it that you picked? Alright, Nathan chose for the Versamaxx from 850 Modding. Nathan, what I need you to do is there will be an email address in the description toward the top. Go ahead and write me an email to that address. Tell me who you are, tell me what you won, and I'll get everything squared away. Again, thanks for everyone for entering. Really appreciate it. And let's get on to the second bit of business. Alright, so on to our next part. We're going to take a drive, and before I tell you what we're driving, just know that this is my second drive, because the first one, it's hard to record something when you don't hit the record button. So just did about 350 miles completely unrecorded. You'll never know about it. So starting over again.
You're gonna cry about it?
Anyway, we are driving EMT Mods Kenworth K100-C. We haven't really driven it since the last time I did a review. There were some things that were off. The center console, the doghouse, it looked weird. He responded and said you need normal maps enabled under the textures and the settings. He fixed the convex mirror on the passenger side, raised it up so that you can see more than 10% of the mirror. It may even be a little bit too high up, but it's not totally blocking the view of my other main mirror. And besides that, some bug fixes and stuff, so we haven't really driven it since that review, so I thought I would go ahead and take this opportunity. The other reason why I wanted to get this truck is because I want to run a specific engine, and I looked at different trucks that had this engine, and the K100 was one of them that I saw 3 or 4 versions of, especially on YouTube. See people running their trucks and how they worked on them and what transmissions they got in them and everything. Anyway, the engine today is going to be a Cummins V903. It was recently updated by Chilling Toaster. It's a free engine mod. You can find it on Truckee, and I'll have a link down below in the description. So it is a 350 horsepower engine. Comes in 4 variants. 350 horsepower is the highest. And as a result, I decided to pick something that had some low weight on the cargo. And guess what? Bart's step deck, which has just been updated, fits the bill perfect. It's not only been updated for 1.54, it's also been fit so that it can haul a lot of SCS cargoes, especially with the new way that they're putting them on trailers now. And just to let you know, this cargo is compliments of the JCB DLC. It is a separate purchase on the ATS Steam Workshop. Just keep that in mind, but you get a whole bunch of different cargoes, and the good thing is you can get a whole bunch that are light. I mean, you can get a ton all the way up to 30,000 pounds, and then a few that are even more than that. But if you want to run light because you're running 350 horsepower, this really fits the bill. And trust me, we're only talking about 12,500 pounds, I believe, on this. Let's take a look. We're here in Scottsbluff, Nebraska. We're going to run to Cheyenne. It's a pretty short drive. I think it's only like 2 hours or something like that, mainly because I've already recorded this, but also we're not exactly going to be speed demon here. And the weight here, 12,600 for these 3 mini excavators. So we'll go ahead and get started now. I'll tell you a little bit more about my first driving experience as I get underway here. Let's go ahead and get the engine cranked over. We should have enough fuel. It's a small tank, but should be okay. Get the windows down. Windows are already down from the last time I did this. And one thing I learned in that drive is this transmission, which is, it's from the real Eaton Fuller transmission, or mod. Okay, here we go. This is what happened before. It is an Eaton Fuller RT 910. So it's a 10-speed. Let's see if I can do it. Okay, it's failing on me. Make sure it's reading in the lower gear, because it wasn't before. Yeah, it's reading in the lower gear. I'm in first gear. So I can't get it to... This is what I had problems with before. Basically, the solution was to not even touch the gas and let out the clutch very slow, and now that's not working. Now it's causing me to stall. Try to add a little bit of fuel, and that causes an automatic stall. So, I don't know what to tell you. Parking brake is not on. We're not obstructed or hung on anything. It's starting to move. You can see it. You just got to let it out real slow. And I'm still not adding any gas. It is very touchy. I think it's the transmission. I might want to try this with a different transmission. I don't think it's the engine. The other thing that I'm figuring out is how to shift this. I am floating the gears, but there's a huge difference between how you shift up to third gear and how you shift from fourth to 10th. And the main difference is you have to wait a lot longer to, you're probably around 1350 coming back into the gear if you're going into second or third, and then all of a sudden it jumps up to 1500 going into fourth, and by the time you get up to sixth, you need to shift it in at about 1650, 1700. So there's a huge change in how it, when it goes into the gear, like by a good 500 RPM, depending. You got to remember what gear you're in so that you can remember how fast or how slow you need to shift. I don't know how realistic that is, but it's been a bit of a challenge, and you will see me stall at least another dozen times. Again, I think that's the transmission. I'd be curious to see if anyone gets their hands on this V903 and puts a different transmission in. Figure, is it the transmission or is it an issue with the engine? So basically, real quick shifts into 4th through 10th, and real slow into 2nd and 3rd. Yeah, it's good to have the step deck back for sure. Step deck, this Max step deck was one of my first trailers that I purchased. Kind of on my last video, I told you when we did a. Let's see if I can shift this. I had to use the clutch on that one. Get the windows up. When we did the FLC from Atreyu, that was my first ever pay-wear truck. This Max step deck was my first ever pay-wear trailer. We'll zoom out a little bit on the GPS. I'll keep that open up above so you can see what gear I'm in and how poorly I'm shifting. So this is going to be a quick shift. Real fast. So yeah, 7th to 10th, you got to go real quick, and then you got to just hang out in those low gears like a lot, way more than most. You gonna let me in, buddy? Unnecessary slowing. I know it bottlenecks, but just because you, I mean, when you've got the right of way and you go, doesn't mean you need to slow down with no one in front of you. And that's really just the vehicle ahead of this truck, because I think there is a vehicle ahead. Yeah, there is. It's like some unspoken rule now that when it comes down to 2 lanes going into 1, you got to slow down to like 30 miles an hour, no matter what the speed limit is posted. Anyway, enough of my ranting. Well, I hope you guys are having a good weekend. It is Easter weekend. I'm going to be spending some time with my family, and really looking forward to seeing my nephew. He's gonna be hunting for eggs. And I'm actually recording this on Saturday night, so I'm sure he is dyeing Easter eggs right now. Quick shift into 10th. Get out of the truck. We can see that white smoke piling out of that stack. That is part of the mod. EMT Mods does that with this truck, also does it with the International 9600. He may do it on other trucks too. I just don't have the other ones right now. I only have the 9600 and this one. And the truck is shaking a whole lot. Like the wheel is shaking, but you can see that if you look out the driver's side door window, the truck itself is shaking. Whoa, that's a bad spot to park. Jake is really good, really effective. Sounds pretty cool too. One of the few Jakes that it actually slows down. You could tell there was an emphasis put on the actual functionality as opposed to just making it sound cool. And it's so common in ATS to get something that sounds cool. It's like, yeah, it sounds cool, but it's not stopping you, and you know that's the primary purpose, is to slow you down. Here's the Jake again outside. That's stage 3, and by the way, there are 3 stages. And they're very distinct. And they all work. In fact, the effectiveness of stage 1 is more powerful than some others at full power at stage 3. So really happy with that. Quick shift into 9. Hopefully we get here before dark. Again, it's not too long. It says we're getting in at 6 o'clock. We'll see what happens with this truck up ahead of us, because it's kind of playing a role. Well, this guy's still going this way, but I don't think he was part of the problem. I think he was getting delayed just like I was. You can tell with a low horsepower engine, if you are not coming into a turn in the right gear, you pay for it. You definitely pay for it. See if we can get over. Missed that one. And there is no letting up. I know, buddy. Let me in, let me in. Not really noticing I was on the, like a 0.5% incline. Every little bit matters when you got low horsepower, which means you really need to plan. You need to pay attention. I'm probably not paying attention anywhere near where I would need to, mainly because I'm talking to you guys, but that's not an excuse. Sometimes I get distracted that way, but need to keep practicing that. That's why I like to run these situations where I'm running lower horsepower. Obviously today it's not really that much of a challenge, at least with the load, because we're only 12,500 pounds. But overall, you know, still got to pay attention, especially on hills and stuff. What are we doing over there? No one's getting on. About ready to go into 10th. There it is. So one other thing I wanted to mention, because the convex mirror on the passenger side has been moved up quite a bit. I said we would get to that. May even need to be a little bit lower. I think it blocks a little bit too much of that main mirror if I'm going to be picky. But the other thing that I noted was just the overall quality out of the mirrors is still pretty low. If I go to zoom in and you look at the surroundings around the mirror and then in the mirror and compare it, big difference. Big difference. It's just too, it's, yeah, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. I don't even know what shifter I'm using. Let's take a look on the map. I may not even have the patience to be able to take an alternate. I could take an alternate route. That's not too bad. I don't think that's too bad at all. We'll go around. We'll go around. Stay there, buddy. Sometimes I just go right by, or I fly by the barricades if I know it's going to take me on like a 4-hour detour or something like that. And in real life, you have other connecting roads, other alternatives, and there's a limitations in roads in ATS, so it's kind of a big deal. But even with this alternate route, I think we'll be pretty good. Still only 37 minutes out, not too bad at all. So, oh, a little bit of a glitch there as we're crossing a cut plane, I guess. I don't know what this truck is doing. I wonder if I have Angry Driver, the Angry Driver mod in here. This guy's just weaving in and out. I think I do, because one of the things that happens on the Angry Driver mod is as soon as they pass you on the left, they immediately, like that, they immediately go into your lane. And so it's programmed to do that, so all the cars and trucks do that, and then they realize they want to be in a different lane, and then they switch back, so it makes it seem like they're just weaving in and out. Stage 1. Stage 2. Stage 3. We're still in Stage 3. Truck is shaking, man. You can definitely see how much it was shaking just a second ago from the inside. Yeah, I don't blame you, guy. Get around me. Coming up on a hill. See how the truck is shaking? Like it's under pressure. It's under stress. Doesn't look like it's shaking from the outside. Just trying to get up to 50 miles an hour here. We're going to have to drop it back down into 8th, I think. Yeah, hills and lower horsepower do not mix. Let's say the exit was 20. We'll go level 2 on the Jake. Level 3. Very effective stopping power on that Jake. I'm pretty happy about that. Checking in again on these cargo. Big fan of this. I like running flatbeds, step decks, low boys, stuff where you can actually see the cargo. That's probably why I was attracted to it, even new to the game, not knowing a ton of mods out there. That's why I kind of gravitated to this. See if I can do it without stalling. You really have to be super, super gentle. Then when the clutch is all the way out, then you can start putting gas in, or power. I don't know if it's supposed to be that way. Back to the quick shifts. So it's definitely definitely more functional in this truck with those changes.
Keep right after 50 yards.
Especially the change to the convex mirror on the passenger side. I just need some more quality over here. It's not like it's getting in the way so much to where I can't see. It's not like that. Nope. It's really not that bad, but it would be nice. I have not seen another mirror that's that quality in the truck, in a truck in ATS. So I think it should be pretty easy to work out. That's the only thing that's a little disappointing. Yeah, it's a little low quality in that convex as well. I really have to go that slow.
Keep right after 50 yards. Go straight. Go straight.
I hate that when I'm shifting on a cut plane. It freezes like that. Let's get the window down. Hear the engine a little bit. This thing really blocks and dampens sound. It kind of reminds me of like a Detroit engine, like a 6V or a 9V, or a 6V or an 8V. So it's got a lot going on. Stage 1. Yeah, I don't think we're stopping. Hopefully there isn't a truck. Or a train. A truck. Whoa, look at that. That is crazy. I wanna see what that looks like from the outside. That looked like it was coming off the chassis. Obviously, I was going in there too fast. But it looked like... Man, I wish I could have seen what that looked like from the outside. Hear the Jake again. Good sounding Jake. Oh, I haven't been to one of these places in a while. This format. I love how they have you pick up right here on the tracks. I mean, obviously it's not an active track, but in real life, if you have tracks, most likely they're being put to use. Alright, just up ahead, back in here. I remember this being a little bit more tricky than it seems. Speaking of tricky, now I gotta cross the tracks and get started. We only have 2 axles on this. There's 1, there's 2. I'm gonna get way far over here. I am gonna have an advantage in here, in that I'm in a cab over. And my main concern is going to be pulling back around to straighten out on those tracks over there to the, in this perspective, to the left, which would be on the right of the truck. Alright, let's go ahead and hit the horn so they know we're coming back and stall at least once. No, no. All clutch. All clutch, no gas. Is that the way you're supposed to do it? If I add any gas, this thing stalls. See, because I've got a cab over, I don't have to worry about the nose running into those things on the passenger side. I can add a little bit of gas now that I'm moving. Nope, too far, too far. And we stalled again. I'm going to try to go with absolutely zero. Yep. I don't know what was happening at the beginning of this drive. I was able to always get it going if I just let out the clutch with no power into it, except for when we were starting off at the beginning of this drive. Kind of an outlier. Do I have to let out the clutch quicker? Nope. You have to let it out like 10%, let it hang, and then let it out a little bit more and a little bit more. That's how you do this. I think we're going to call it good. I'm not even going to try to... It wasn't the greatest experience. Here's what I have to say, though. Parking brake. Don't need the 4 ways. Let's go ahead and get the windows up. Parking lights on only. Shutter down. My takeaway from this is I don't think it has to do with the engine. I think the engine sounds great. I love the 3 stages on the Jake brake. I'm going to try it with another transmission, one that I'm more familiar with, so I can tell if it's actually the engine or the transmission. My guess is it's the transmission, but if you guys try in the meantime, try a transmission that you guys have used, that you're used to using on a regular basis, and put it in here with this Cummins V903 from Chilling Toaster. Let me know what you guys think. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys got something out of it, and I hope you guys are having a good weekend. If you think I did a good job, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing, hitting the notification bell so you can see all my videos, and I will see you guys on the next one. Take care.